Hello, I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel. This is the weekly angel card reading for the week beginning May the 15th to the 21st, 2017. So I want to start off by saying that I had been thinking about giving up these YouTube weekly readings because they're sort of a bit superfluous to what I'm already posting on Instagram and Facebook every day. And to be honest with you, they are a lot of work actually. It's not just sitting down for 20 minutes to chat. There's a lot of setup involved, a lot of prep, a lot of, preparing the clip and the wording when I launch it. And so I thought I'd just, give it another week, which was last week. But I got such a great response, not just to the video specifically, but to my messages all up, that I felt like I really needed to keep going with this. So here I am again, and I'll just keep going as long as people are watching. I have to learn to not be so worried about who's watching. Even if it's a small number, people are still getting value from it, and that's what I need to try and remember. So that's what I'm going to do. Instead of getting held up on, for the time and energy investment in this, is it worth it? If I'm helping people, and it sounds like I am from the feedback I'm getting from you guys, then that's good enough for me. That is the value right there. So I will continue. So on that note, let's start with Monday, the 15th of May, and see what messages the angels have for us that can help us with our life choices for that day. Ooh. Oh, here we go. Actually, they've given us 3 cards, so I'm just going to put those back because 2 cards I can deal with. 3, no, that's not right. Okay, here we go. Emerging. This is sort of a transformation card. It gives me the image of a butterfly coming out of the chrysalis. And that's very fitting. We just had the Scorpio full moon last week. Scorpio is a sign all about transformation. So it's very much a time of the energies are really supporting people who want to leave things behind and step into a new chapter. They're leaving behind relationships or jobs that are no longer working in particular, or stories that they've told themselves about themselves, or masks they've worn, and they're stepping into something new and, yes, scary, but also really exciting, because transformation is what we're here to do. We're here to evolve. We're not here to stay stagnant and we're certainly not here to fit other people's agendas of what they think we should be and what society says we should be. So this is all about that. This illustration, what's standing out to me here is the wings. And obviously all wings are on every single card just about. But what I noticed about this is it looks like just an ordinary girl. It doesn't look like an angel. So the wings are something that we all, in the symbolic sense, that we are given to float out of our circumstances into the new ones. It doesn't mean that it's not hard leaving things behind. Of course it is, saying goodbye to things and to remove yourself from what people might expect from you and to step into something new. But it is absolutely worth it. So if you're involved in that process, I'm sending you my blessings and really urging you to stick with it, because it's worth it. And if you're not, but and you feel like maybe you should be, then perhaps there's a message in here for you. But even if you're perfectly happy with how you are, there are always opportunities for you to look for change. So look for those and embrace them. So Tuesday, the 16th of May, straight away, Nematona Sacred Space. Now this is one of those cards that if you're not, being spiritual, I see as a spectrum. If you're on the lower end of a spectrum where, you're taking these messages on board, but you're not someone who has a regular spiritual practice, you're not meditating, you're not kind of, carrying crystals around or anything like that, this may be off-putting to you. But this message comes to you wherever you are in your journey right now, your life journey, and just take from it what you need. It may not be, it's going to mean different things to different people. So what it essentially is saying, that there's a need for all of us to have a space that's just ours, where we can reconnect, we can center ourselves, we can ground ourselves. A lot of people do find that in meditation. I know I do. It's really about it's not about clearing your mind, it's about finding stillness, about finding peace, really. And there's a need for you to do that. Now, whether you have a physical location in your house or in your garden or your neighbourhood that you go to do that. Perhaps it's a church, perhaps it's a particular park, perhaps it's a waterfall you're around, perhaps it's being near the beach. This is asking you to do that, to make time to do that. And, you know, if you've been thinking about perhaps setting up an altar in your home, you could do that as well. Could even just be a corner in your house where you go to sit and meditate, and it's just the energy you've set around that is just for you to really be still and to be at peace, to switch off. What comes to mind is that quote that everything works better if you switch it on and switch it on again, like the IT department always says, including yourself. Switch yourself off, and then you'll find that when you switch on again, you're tons more effective and you feel a lot more contented as well. So that's what that is about. Wednesday, oh hello. Pay attention to your dreams. Now, the night of the full moon last week, I had the most vivid dreams of my life. I'm not exaggerating. I've had some very vivid dreams. I am a Scorpio, and that's why this full moon really slammed me in particular. But, you know, so Scorpios do tend to have deep dreams, as do Pisces, but anyone can, of course, because dreams are a way in which your subconscious speaks to you, because your conscious mind is relaxed. So you've got subconscious messages coming through. It is also when you can hear your fear. I mean, sometimes people panic when they have intense dreams because they think that's a prediction of what's going to happen. Usually it's not. It's just a product of what's going on in your mind in terms of what you're deeply afraid of. For example, if you dream about snakes, that's a fear of people betraying you, because snakes symbolize people who are dodgy, for lack of a better word, people who are going a double two-faced, you know, they're going to let you down, or they're going to betray you, let you down, you know, they've got a hidden agenda, that sort of thing. But this is, you know, so I had these really vivid dreams, and because of the work I do, I was able to understand what they were saying. But if you are struggling with your dreams, the good old dreamdictionary.com can help you. You know, don't get too overwhelmed with information and go, oh, must be this, must be this. Trust your intuition. And if no part of that translation or interpretation speaks to you, disregard it. Now, not every single dream carries meaning. Some of them are just silly and bizarre. And generally, you know, if that's the case. But if it really feels like it's powerful, there was no doubt in my mind that the dreams I had last Thursday night were loaded with meaning. And they were, again, not predictions. They were things that were going on deep down, the reasons that I was struggling with certain things. It was showing me where I was afraid, where I was falling down, and partly why. Scorpio is about what is unseen as well. I know I've talked a lot about what Scorpio means because I am a Scorpio. It's a sign I know the most about. But, you know, I do write an astrology column. I do know a bit about astrology, although I would not call myself an expert because it takes years and years and years. There's so much to learn. But I do know that Scorpio represents transformation, as I've previously said. Also is a bit about it's also sort of about what is hidden, what we don't see, what's going on under the surface. And that's really where your subconscious is coming to the fore, and in your dreams as well. It's really where you can see what's hidden. So beyond the facade, beyond the mask that you're wearing, beyond who you pretend to be, beyond who people think you are, what's really going on, all that sort of stuff is likely to be coming up right now, or more likely to be coming up right now than it usually would. So just pay attention to those messages. Keeping a dream journal can be really good. Oh, that's Thursday's card just jumped out already. In a really helpful way as well for seeing patterns. If you see patterns, that's really important, and look for symbols. For example, the snakes. Babies, being pregnant, that's all symbolic of new beginnings, new things that are coming, fresh starts. It is not a prediction that you're actually going to have a baby. It could be, but usually it's not. Usually it's just a symbol. So Thursday's card is law of attraction. I talk about this all the time. It's about how where you put your focus is what you attract. Now, that doesn't mean that if you constantly think about winning lotto that you are going to win the lottery. It's really about, because that may not be what is meant for you. Sorry to break it to you, but having a lot of money is probably not going to make you as happy as what you think it will. It's about where you're putting your attention. energy flows where attention goes. So if you're constantly worried about not having enough money, to go back to the money example, because let's face it, it's what everybody is very focused on. If you're focused on not having enough, you will attract not enough. You will attract the lack rather than the abundance or the supply of more money. So really be careful about the way you're focusing. Now, it's not the same as just thinking about something, meaning that's going to come to you. It's about the way you frame it in your mind, the way you visualize it, the way you focus on having it, and is your energy towards that positive, or is it loaded with or packaged with fear? So, and it also reminds us we've got the power to choose our thoughts. It is one of mankind's last great freedoms, is to choose the way you think and feel. So really, don't think of yourself as a victim. Think about how you are choosing what's happening to you, how you are choosing to the positive in your situation. And if you are in a shitty situation, don't forget, it usually goes away once you've learnt the lesson. So if you're feeling powerless with what you're dealing with, look for the lesson. That may help to speed up that process. Okay, Friday I've got 2 cards. Typical. This is annoying when this happens. So we have books. This is only going to speak to some of you, and I'm not going to put this on my Instagram or Facebook because it's very specific. If you've been thinking about writing a book, you need to do it. The world needs your book. Please do it. That's enough said. Now for the rest of you, cut your cords. I talk about this again a lot as well. When we form an intimate relationship with someone, particularly romantic, but also a deep friendship, there's an energetic cord between us and that person. It doesn't just go away when you break up or when that friendship ends. It can still be there, particularly if the reasons that it ended were loaded with emotion in terms of there was betrayal, you were hurt, you didn't have any say in it, and you're still angry. All those sorts of things keep you tied to that person. It means you're not going to attract a new partner, or you're going to attract the same type of partner, or you're going to not connect to any new friends, or whatever it is. So there are things you can do about this. I always recommend people try to clear the cords yourself. It's very easy. You can go onto YouTube that will help you. Google Doreen Virtue's channel. She has meditations around letting go, cutting cords, all that sort of thing can really help. You can also get Reiki. I'm a Reiki practitioner, so of course I'm a big advocate for that. And I do offer, cord cutting sessions within energy healing sessions that I offer, which can be done via distance. You don't need to be physically in the room because that's how energy works. So what you do is you ask Archangel Michael, who's pictured here, he has a sword of light, and you ask him to basically cut through those attachments. But you have to be ready. I've done cord cutting with people who say, oh, I want to let go of my ex, I want to move on. And then when I go to do it and ask Michael, he's like, they're still attached. And the reason they're still attached is what Michael says to me is they're not ready. They think they're ready, but they're actually not, because they're still invested in being angry at that person. They still haven't processed all their feelings. They're still really invested in wanting that person to suffer, or wanting revenge on them, or thinking about what's even going on in their lives, even if there's not an emotion loaded to that. So you have to be really ready. So take the time to do your healing before you start that process. Saturday the 20th of May. Oh, here we go. Reward. Oh, good. Okay, you need to really take some time today to reward yourself for all your hard work, and even for just getting through life. Life is hard, guys. It's really freaking hard, and you're not the only one who's finding it hard. Please look after yourself. You do not need permission to look after yourself. You do not need to wait for someone to tell you, you've been good, you deserve a treat. You deserve a treat now because you are getting through the day like a boss. So treat yourself in some way. It can be something simple like, a manicure. Try to be able to knee, please don't look at my awful nails. Or something like booking a holiday. It's really up to you, but just make sure that you are not holding back from looking after yourself because you think you don't deserve it, or because you're waiting for someone else to look after you. It's your job to look after yourself, not someone else's. But I'm saying this in particular to the mums, because mums have a habit of they're so busy looking after everyone else, they don't do a very good job of looking after themselves. But you can only look after after other people well when you are looking after yourself first. Now, something just popped into my mind, and what was it? Oh, I was just going to say, be wary about rewarding yourself with food, because we really don't want to set ourselves up to be. I don't want to make any judgment about you. I know, you know, the way you, your lifestyle. Because I know for me in particular, I have got a tendency to treat myself with junk food, and it's really not a good pattern, because it sets an association within me that junk food is a treat. It's something I have to, not only that I have to earn, which is silly because, you know, but also that it's something good that is going to, you know, it strengthens those emotional kind of attachments with it being, you know, a comforting thing and something that makes me feel good, where it would be better to try and get those emotions from somewhere else, just because, you know, you're going to keep using food as an emotional crutch, which just sets up all sorts of bad patterns. And we've all, you know, had parents, most probably, who treated us or gave us treats that were sugary foods like lollies and sweets, or candy if you're American. And, you know, no criticism against our mums, but with what we know now, that's kind of setting up a difficult pattern for some of us, not all. So, Sundays just jumped up very quickly. Some of these were really fast and some were not. Shanti, so you probably already know that means peace. I'm the angel of peace, and it's just symbolizing, one, a need for you to connect and get that sense of peace. Inner peace is something that you don't go to an ashram to find. It's something that's within you. You go to various places within yourself to find it, and it may be within your home or into the, you know, nature. You can do that to make it easier to connect, but ultimately you're connecting with something that's already within you. You don't need to find it or to earn it or in any way. But this card is also giving us a strong message that there are more peaceful times ahead. So whatever you're struggling with, please take heart that it is going to get better. So and easier. So this is just a temporary glitch you're going through. So try to find peace and acceptance within this situation as well. Don't just wait for it to get better. It's up to you to really be in charge of your responses and your emotions, even, which can be incredibly difficult. And I know some of you are going through incredibly difficult things with illness and bereavement, so I'm not trying to make light of what you're going through, but just please try to remember that you still have some agency over your feelings, even though it might not seem that way. So looking at the week, we've got a strong message about finding peace and tranquility. We've got a lot about letting go, I would say, as well, letting go of old things and old attachments here that are no longer serving you, and just some practical stuff here about paying attention to your dreams and looking for meanings there, and to look after yourself here with rewards. That's it for the week. I'll put these on Instagram at One Grounded Angel. That's one ONE, not the number one, and on my Facebook page, One Grounded Angel. You can contact me via my blog, which is www.onegroundedangel.com. And last week I posted a blog article about how to find signs and how to understand signs from the universe, which a lot of you are responding to. So if you haven't checked that out, you might find that helpful. And signs are a great way to ask the angels for help and to ask them to confirm if you're on the right track, which is something that we struggle to understand sometimes, and we just need that confirmation. Thank you so much for your time, for your love, and for all your support. I wish you a wonderful week. Take care of yourself.